Okay, so far we have seen functions, right? We have defined a function here. Here we define the function a with two parameters. The return value is integer, and we do return the integer here, right? We add a plus b, and we store it in C, and we return that variable because it matches the return type. And so when we call the function here, we are calling here, right? We call here the sometimes we may end up having the function defined before the call, right? We define the function first, and then we are calling here. Sometimes, predominantly in most of the complex programming assignments projects, you always have the function defined elsewhere in the system or in the program. For instance, I remove this function from here and I move it afterwards, okay? Or maybe to a different file. Somebody has written this addition, let's say in Mexico. Somebody wrote this function how to add two numbers, and you are only you in California, you are writing this function, but you are not going to wait for him to give you that function, right? So you may have something called prototype. You have to define a prototype for a function to compile. You cannot run it, at least you need to compile. Let's say here, right? You can compile this program, but you cannot run this program because you don't know where it is. But at least let's pretend that you have written the function and it's in here. So function prototypes are always defined before the call. Okay, so the compiler would know that that function add will be provided later. Okay, this is called function prototype. You need to understand that, and they have to match exactly to. It's called function prototype, functions, signature, all that. So it's always a good practice to define the function prototype before you call it, and it doesn't matter where you place the actual function. Okay, so it's always a good practice. If you compile it, you should not complain. And if you go back to our other function rand, here we can also say get num. That's it. You don't have to do anything else, just that prototype. Okay, so this is a way we define function prototype. Very simple, huh?